All right, hello everybody, and welcome to another episode of Kitty's Cat Chat. I don't know why I picked that name. I don't know. I was meditating and it sounded cute, so I did it, and now it's the Cat Chat. So today we are going to be discussing everything relationships. I've been talking to a lot of people that have been coming into my chat, and they're either dealing with breakups or loneliness or issues with their friends or issues with themselves. So today we are going to just talk about everything relationships, from the relationship you have with yourself, the relationship you have with your friends and family, and the love relationships you have with that special someone. So I will talk about myself a little bit really quickly. One of the things that I think is the most important foundation, I think, for any relationship is the relationship that you have with yourself. That is the most important thing. No, it's not selfish. No, you're not ignoring other people. You're being mindful and loving of yourself. And to me, that foundation, the respect and love you have for yourself, is going to allow you to have healthy, long, fun, exciting, secure relationships for the rest of your life, whether it's with friends or that special someone. Hey. So best ideas for your first date. Okay, I think best idea for the first date, if we're going to start with that, is anything that is fun, that's active, that gets the heart pumping. I think you definitely have to consider the person you're taking out on a first date, but okay, here we go. Have you found it difficult to separate social life, aka relationship, and work when you're partially doing your job from home? I 100% do my job from home, and for me, it's been totally a growth, like a method of growing. So I've started small, and I started doing a little bit of work, and then I got it bigger and doing more work and bigger and doing more work and bigger and doing more work. So I learned to balance as I went on, and I think for a long time, especially when I was first started streaming, for the first year and a half, I pretty much ignored every single other person in my life other than my stream. I was just so intensely in love with streaming. I streamed every single day for 8 to 14 hours a day, and I was obsessed with you guys. And because of that, everything else in my life, including the relationship I had with myself and my body, went kind of down the drain. So I had to definitely hit a sort of rock bottom when it came to friends being like, okay, I text you all the time and you never reply, and people that liked me getting ignored, and my family getting ignored. So that, I think you feel it out. You have to kind of hit a rock bottom. I don't know. How do I stop hating almost everything? Okay, Glue, remember, hate is an incredibly, incredibly powerful emotion. And if we want to stick with a foundation of like wealth and goodness and health in yourself, you don't want to ever be feeling hate. And like I was talking about earlier with the whole like tax thing, if you change your perspective on things, you can learn to love absolutely everything. And if the first person that you have to learn to love is yourself, and I know right now it might seem really, really hard. I know there's a lot of people that struggle with insecurity and lack of confidence. And oh, Wolfie, thank you for the 1 year together. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yay! I'm excited. Well, happy early birthday. I'll sing to you on Thursday, Wolfie, okay? So I think that if you guys are sitting here and you don't love yourself, I don't think that there should be any other question other than the question to yourself on where can I get to a place where I love myself. And for me, learning to love myself and getting out of that space of insecurity and fear and sadness was trying to remember all the things that were going right. And I think a lot of people look at me, they're like, Kitty, how could you be insecure? I think no matter like how it appears on the outside, everybody struggles with their own issues, whether it's body issues or mental issues. And you have to remember that it's okay. And you are a whole being, and you are worthy, and you are exciting and loved so much. And I think people forget that quite often. So remember that learning to love yourself is the most important thing that you can be doing right now. British Guy, thank you so much for the 18 months in a row. You are now a Kitty Godlike subscriber. I love you. Thank you for being here today. Thank you for the $3. I was in a relationship for 1 year. I always felt it wasn't 50-50. I always put in more, and when I tried to talk about it, she got mad and had petty fights. It got so toxic, I ended it, but the thing is, I still had a lot of feelings for her. Okay, that's a good transition into the idea of emotional vampires. Wow. Stealth Doctor, thank you for subscribing. I'll be moonwalking for you after the 30 minutes is over. Thank you for being here. Okay, so the most important thing to consider when you guys are in any type of relationship is when you are in love with someone and you want to be with someone, you have to know, and it goes right back to the foundation of being a whole person yourself. Because when you're a whole person, you do not expect anything from the person that you are with. The person that you are with is not there to make you whole. You are whole by yourself, and the person you are with is just there to enrich your life with fun activities and relationship and fun times together. So what I want to remind you is when you are with another person, you should be getting back exactly what you are putting into that relationship, and they should love you for exactly who you are. James, thank you so much for subscribing and using your Twitch Prime. If you keep using your Twitch Prime for another 2 months, I'll be adding you on Snapchat. Thank you so much for being here on Moonwalk After. So there's kind of, okay, I'll give you an example. So I'm sure you guys have seen a lot of people in these relationships, whether it's your parents, whether it's your friends, whether you've actually experienced it. These people get together, and when they get together, they're so in love with each other. It's so awesome. And then what happens is they start expecting energy from each other. So they pull energy from each other back and forth, because they're not in a whole place. And they pull energy and pull energy and pull energy, and all of a sudden they start fighting more. Benita, thank you so much for subscribing. I love you too. I'm gonna walk for you after this. Thank you for being here today, beautiful. Thank you, Benita. I love you. And they pull and they pull and they pull and they pull, and their relationship, it becomes so toxic. They fight all the time. They're disrespectful to each other. They might even be abusive to each other, and then they break up. And then they go into the world and they're emotional vampires, and then they feed off their friends, they feed off the energy of the world, and they feel full again. And then they find each other again, and they start dating again, and the exact same thing happens because they're not dealing with their own internal issues. And they're not whole. So they're feeling great because they just emotionally sucked all the energy from everyone else around them, and they get together, and then they fight, and break up again, and they go out, and the exact same thing happens over and over and over and over and over. And the only thing that I can say to you is, if you are experiencing this, or if you're worried about experiencing this, all you gotta do is focus on who you are. Snake, so many new subs. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Snake and Benita, thank you for being here. You need to remember that you are enough. You are amazing. You are whole. You have somebody out there that when you're feeling in your good place, when you feel well, when you feel whole, that day that you decide that you don't even need another person in your life to make you feel valued because you are enough by yourself. That is gonna be when this other whole person who's thinking the exact same thing walks into your life, and you're gonna have the most healthy, amazing, beautiful, joyous, exciting relationships that you've ever had in your entire life. And that is the best advice that I have ever been given. I have lived that and I have experienced it, and it is fantastic. And I will leave you with that. What if I want to marry you? I would marry you, Wolfie. You're still underage though. So it's gonna sound weird. I really like one girl. She's beautiful, almost like you, and she's tall, taller than me, and it's shitty feeling when you have a taller girlfriend like me. You gotta, okay, so what is good, Edsis, and what I challenge you is to get to a point feeling secure in your height. If she loves you with you and your height, that is, it'll be because you love yourself with your height. Walter, thank you for the 3 months in a row, and Aiden, I'm glad you're here today. Thank you so much, I appreciate it. How do I find and date a girl like Kristen? You be yourself, okay? I'm the type of person that I am attracted to people that are so in their element. I like people who are enjoying every moment, who are excited about life, who are vulnerable when they're vulnerable, who express emotions really well, and who are incredibly driven for the pursuit of enjoyment of life. That is what gets me excited. I like people who are secure. I like people who know who they are and not know what they're here for, because I think we spend our whole life trying to figure that out, but just are sitting so comfortably in themselves that it makes like that, I don't know, that's so attractive to me. What's the countdown? Average, we're talking about relationships for 30 minutes, so I put a timer. It's just so we're making sure that we are on point. Are girls into deep voices? I think girls are into all voices. Does it, like, that's the thing. There's so many articles out there that are like, girls are into tall guys with abs that drive a fast, big car and make a lot of money and have a 5 o'clock shadow all the time, or whatever it's called. Like, that is just like so bullshit. And while that's really, really nice, that is not, you do not need to change who you are to be that person. Be yourself, and you're gonna find someone who comes into your life and is attracted to you for exactly who you are. If you are gonna be trying to be someone that you're not, you're gonna have someone that comes and loves you for that person who you're not, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life being someone who you aren't. Who wants to be anyone that they're not? I don't know. Be yourself. And you're gonna find someone who loves you for exactly who you are. How do you satisfy your inner desire when you're single? What do you mean by that, Lemon? Is it bad to have weird fetishes? No, I think everyone's entitled to their own fetishes, mostly. I don't think you should feel insecure or, I don't know, disgusted with yourself about that. Hi, Marbolo. Oh, higher power, good to see you. I like a girl at school and we talk. That's awesome, Outlaw. Those are the first steps. My best advice, if you're uncomfortable talking to women or men, is just to start talking to women and men everywhere. Whether it's the cashier at your favorite coffee place or someone that's checking you out at the grocery store, talk to everybody. It doesn't matter how old they are. Just get over the fact that people are any more special than they actually are. We're all just these like funny looking, funny shaped people underneath all the clothes and makeup and walls we're putting up. We're all the same. You've physically given up on relationships. Why? So Kitty, my boyfriend and I have been together, and he talked to my ex and flirted with someone I knew for years. He said it was because he was being bullied for being gay. What should I do? I talked to my ex and flirted with someone I knew for years. I think you should just help him love himself for who he is. I think that's just going back to people feeling insecure. And when people feel insecure, they want to reach out for attention, and that happens a lot. I don't know, but I also believe that when you're with someone, especially if you're committed to someone, you should, if that's what you want, like I'm an advocate for open relationships, because I believe when you're in an open relationship and that person is wanting to be with you because they love you. Okay, so if you're in an open relationship and you're with someone and they know that they could be with other people if they would want, and they would still get to be with you, but they're choosing not to be with other people because you're just so much more exceptional in their books. Why would they ever want to spend time with other people if they have you? And that's like the whole idea. I have no time. If I was in a committed relationship, I would have no time for them having eyes for, or like flirting or cheating on me. Like, I don't know. If you're with me, you're loving me 100%. Hi, Quanies, how are you? And I understand, I'm actually okay with flirting. Because flirting is actually really healthy in a relationship, and this is something that people don't really know about. When people like to feel wanted, and it is okay if they flirt with other people, but if it goes past that, then I'm like, if I'm committed to the person. But if I'm in an open relationship, I don't care. I play WoW every day. Where did I find a girlfriend? My first boyfriend I met on World of Warcraft. Chris, you know this. You can find people anywhere. You just gotta be in the right place and open to finding people. You're welcome, Art Star. I saw you earlier. Thank you for being here. I've been in a relationship for 5.5 years and it's great. We're 19. What do you think about young committed relationships? So, Marbolo, I'm the type of person, I'm like, even being in a long relationship myself and being 24, I go through like the feeling like, oh my god, like don't I want to like meet and get to know people on like a deeper level? that's not just the same person my whole life. Like the idea that we have to be monogamous for our entire life and only get to know one partner is like, I feel like there's just like, that's like a missed opportunity. But I feel like if you're feeling totally comfortable in the relationship, that's like 100% okay. I can't speak to anyone else's relationships except for my own. And I want to stress the importance of our internal wisdom and knowledge and emotions. Your emotions are the most important compass that you've been given and you were born with in this life. And it is going to help you to find what you love to do, what feels good, what you should be doing, and trust your heart. It's like, ooh, that's all I can say. Random, thank you for the 7 months in a row, 2 more months, and it's gonna be 9 months, and we're gonna be kitty epic. Hiya! I met my husband in molten core and vanilla 11 years together! Yes, tired! There you go. There you go. How do you get together with a girl that already has a boyfriend? Well, okay, I will be honest. I went through a phase in my life where like that was like, I like to be challenged. I had like a lot of like I was very competitive. I challenged myself a lot. So like what I used to do is like when I would meet someone that was like in a relationship that was like more attractive to me because it was like more of a challenge. And I realize now, 2020 hindsight, that I was like a little naive bitch homewrecker and that I should not have been having those ideas. If that person, if they're in a relationship and they're interested in you, they'll leave the relationship. Don't put any extra pressure on them. Be yourself, live exciting, happy, joyous life, and I don't know, don't fuck with it. Don't fuck with it. Most females on WoW are male. I don't know. I think there's a lot of women that play WoW. You're afraid of the dreaded friend zone? I think people like put way too much negativity on the idea of the friend zone. I think it's really good for men and women to be friends. Like in my experience, I would say about 10% of the men that I've been friends with, I've actually been able to just be friends with. I think about 90% of that kind of happens where like the man develops feelings for me and I can't reciprocate it because I'm not interested. And that's okay. And a lot of times that ends relationships just because the guy thinks it's something wrong with them when it really isn't. It's only about who you are and what your preferences are, and you don't control and you can't speak to other preferences. If someone is not interested in you and you end up in the friend zone, be a good friend and be awesome and love them and know that you're gonna find someone who loves you and thinks you're amazing and they're never gonna put you in friend zone. I also know a lot of guys who were in the friend zone for a long time and they got out of the friend zone for a lot of like my really, really hot friends in high school. And I was like, I don't know how that happened. It was insane. But it happened. So I know 2 playmates that play well. There you go. There you go. Yeah, so I think it's possible, but I think like if they put you in the friend zone, don't write her off. Continue to be her friend and continue to support her. But remember that it's okay. And you're gonna find someone who will never put you in the friend zone. Hey Paramore, thank you for the 6 months in a row. And I think it's really hard. Like there's like lots of different times in our life where we want different things, and I like it now. Maybe she sees you as someone that she would want to be with later in life. Maybe she like women will be like, oh, they'd be like a really good person to settle down with later, you know, or they'd be a really good person to have a lot of fun with now, but I wouldn't settle down with. So just be understanding of that. Hi Cito, how are you? So I want to talk a little bit about breakups and ending of relationships because I'm sure there's a lot of people here who have been broken up with, me included. And I've been done the breaking up. It's just like one of the things that happens. And I want to remind people, if anyone has gone through a breakup, if anyone has gone through the ending of a relationship, that is okay. And I think when we're in relationships, we get to the point where we feel really... Paramore, thank you so much though, by the way, sorry. We get to a point where we feel like a scarcity of humanity, I would call it, where you're with someone and you believe that that person is the one for you. If you are not with that person, you are not going to be happy, you are not going to enjoy life as much, there's no one else out there like them. And while there might not be anyone else out there like them, oh sadness. I'll read that after. Sorry. You guys, make sure you're not writing too long of messages. That there is so many people out there, and the best thing that you can do for yourself and the best way to get over somebody is to walk in your true self. So if you get dumped, if you get broken up with, even if you do the breaking up with, it's really, really difficult to like go from being with someone all the time to not being with someone all the time. And just remember that the best thing you can do is now you have the time. Put all the time that you were spending with them into yourself. Spend time being quiet. Spend time meditating. Spend time writing down all the things you like and desire. Spend time writing all the things that you're grateful for. And make it the best. If you want to use it, revenge. You can say revenge. The best revenge on someone who breaks up with you is them seeing you a month later walking in your truth, being the biggest, brightest, most amazing, beautiful human being because of the confidence and security that you have in yourself, and the knowing that when you are walking like that, you are going to meet someone who loves you 100% completely, totally for you, who you're going to feel secure with all the time, who you're not going to be worried about who they're texting, who they're not going to be worried about who they're emailing, who you're not going to be worried about who they're looking at, because the only person that they're going to have eyes for and in love with and wanting to spend time with is you. They'll love your flaws. They won't try and change you because they're going to learn to love you for exactly who you are. So trust me, it happens. You can get over it. You can get through this. Relationships are amazing and they suck and they're fantastic and they're boring and they're everything. Okay, so I would challenge people to still have it and be okay and understanding that it's all working out. What is your thoughts of staying friends with your exes? I mean, I think I'm friends with all my exes. Not that I talk every day, but we're amicable. If I saw them, I would like have a conversation. I like when I drive, like a lot of the guys I dated, when I drive through like the city that they lived in, like ones that I've dated for long periods of time, like I think about them. I'm like, I hope they're doing well, you know. But I'm not like close friends, and I think that depends. I think it depends on the situation. Some people really have terrible endings to their relationship, and even like when I've had a terrible ending to like one of my relationships, I got to the point, and while I couldn't forgive him in person, I had to forgive him without being in person because I had to let go of all of that toxicity. And now he messages me, but I'm like, no, leave me alone. But I don't know. It depends. You ended a 10-year relationship, and I need to say you're so right. Yes, Celia! Right? How comfortable have you found relationships with people who live in different time zones, like on the other side of Earth? I think that's a little bit harder because when you're sleeping, they're awake, and vice versa. But I think any long-distance relationship can weather through it. And I can speak to, okay, what do I think about jealous, overly attached partners? I don't think we should, okay, this is my opinion. You guys can take it or leave it. I think that jealous, overbearing partners you shouldn't be with. That's just my opinion. I think that that is a type of emotional vampire. You need to walk next to someone who, unless you like that. Some people like jealous, overbearing partners. But you just gotta walk in your truth, and if that feels uncomfortable, and when they're freaking out about something, if that makes you uncomfortable, I don't think we should be with people like that. I think that person needs to be alone for a bit and realize, again, what I was saying earlier, that they are whole by themselves, and so they don't do things like that. But it's hard, and it's like, I'm speaking as a 24-year-old, you guys. I didn't know a lot of these things when I was, 14, 16, 18, 20. I didn't know these things. Like, a lot of these things I didn't even know 2 years ago. So that's just my opinion. I think if you really do love the person, be compassionate with them, and don't try and change them, but support the things that they do that you like. Good friends with a girl, she had a boyfriend, now she doesn't talk to you. See, that happens. Tyler, that happens. And even I could be best friends with a girl, and she'll get a boyfriend, and she'll stop talking to me. It happens, and you just gotta be compassionate about it, and know that when they break up, she'll be your friend again. Or like, it's usually like a year into the relationship, they'll come back and be your friend too. Dun, 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 dun. Should you ever lower your standards if really attractive girls reject you or keep trying? I don't think you should lower your standards, but I think that you should not base attractiveness just on looks, Forrest. I think like the society makes you believe that like a lot of women's value is based on their looks, but I know so many like empowered, sexy women that wouldn't be classified as a 10, and they would probably make like the best, most fun girlfriends ever. I was in a toxic relationship with a possessive man, and I left and found my husband who was perfect for me. I'm so glad that everything I'm saying, there's like somebody that can like attest to it. So thank you. Thank you. Should I take a girl out somewhere and see if she likes me? Yeah, I think you could, Outlaw. Hey, Misfit, thank you. I'm glad you're enjoying this. You're so young, pretty. Sadly, you'll learn that relationships suck. Get a fuck buddy. Dude, there's so many things wrong with that. I don't even know where to start. Relationships do suck, but they're also really amazing. But you guys can define your relationship, okay? You can define what it is. Exactly, Surfing Cat. That's what I started with. Is your own relationship. My crush knew I liked her and went on dates, but she left me for another guy. I don't know if she liked me or not. Yeah, Omar, I wouldn't even think about too much about it. If she's not with you now, she's not with you now. There's someone else out there who's gonna love you for you. I don't know, Airsoft. It's probably just too long a message. Would I ever consider a blind date? Yeah, I've been on blind dates before. What's your opinion on dating your boss? I don't think it's a good idea. I don't even think it's a good idea to date in your same industry, honestly. I think relationships should happen once you get your life together. A few things paid off, then worry about building your relationship. I think, it depends. I think we can all balance, like, anything. I think we can handle anything anytime. All this relationship, can you give me more tips over dinner? That's a good pickup line. So I recently broke up with my girlfriend, who I felt really strongly about, and she seems to be getting along better, and I'm still stuck being upset that she isn't with me. Legendaries, isn't that the worst thing that happens when you're the one that breaks up with them? Oh man. I'm just, honestly, the best way to get over someone once you learn to love who you are is like finding another person and realizing that that person that you're not with anymore ain't shit. I'm friends with a girl and I think she likes someone else. How do I win her over? Love the hair. Thank you, Pixel. I think you can be yourself and walk confidently and securely with who you are and focus on your own path to living in each moment and being confident. And if she loves that person who you become, she loves that person who you become. If she doesn't, move on, find someone else. Thank you, Trip. I appreciate that. That makes me happy. How to tell someone you were dating something controversial that could go up against what they believe? I think it depends on who you're dating. Oh my god, this lighting. It depends on who you're dating. Like, I think if you're with someone that's like understands that a relationship, you don't have to be the same person and you're entitled to your own opinion and that's only gonna enrich your time together, I think that it'll be better. I have an eating disorder and I can't eat in public. We've been together for 5.5 years. I feel bad that we can't go into public to take her on a date any days. Real higher power, could you like find a deserted, can you eat with her? You could, I would say go on like picnics and stuff. Take her to the park where there's not other people, things like that. There's ways to work around that. I can't work to speak to like try and get over a disorder like that. I have no experience in that. But I would just say have fun, like private outdoor dates like that. You could take her for dinner. I would pack a dinner and then you can go somewhere. There's tons of things you can do other than going for meals too. Thanks, Pixel. What's your opinion on having an ex as a fuck buddy? I mean, I don't really want to get into the topic of fuck buddies, but it's just what you want out of a relationship, so what you want out of life. It's just, if what you're wanting is just like carnal sex, go and have carnal sex with people. I make sure you're being safe, but I don't know. I think there's something like, that's not what a relationship is for. I don't know. Just like being married isn't an idea that we have to be with a man because we might get pregnant. Like there's birth control, there's women making their own incomes. Like I totally understand if you're just friends with benefits with someone, but from experience and from my friend's experience, it doesn't always end the best. Okay, 30 seconds. Any final questions? I don't know what had happened, how the time's going so fast. I normally do these for 16 minutes. If you guys want to keep talking about it for another 30 minutes, we can. Hey, Court, how are you? Yeah, higher power. Great time. We did build a relationship. Best tip on keeping a relationship. Be yourself. I don't know. That's like the most important thing. Like what I was stressing in the beginning is be yourself, live your life, figure out what makes you happy, work on your security with yourself, be grateful for what you have, be happy for the things that you do, and if a person doesn't want to be with you while you're walking being yourself, they don't want to be with you. Don't become anyone that you're not. Hey Kahuna, how are you? What should I post on Tumblr? Hi House Soldier, how are you? Oh man. I'm good, Court. Well, awesome. What did you guys think of that? 30-minute cat chat on relationships. Thank you everybody that joined us. I hope you enjoyed the chat. I'm gonna end the video for YouTube now, and I'll see you guys later.